1 in 6 adults in the UK now has what can be classified as a problem debt, and one of the most common is rent arrears.
Let's roll.
Kraken and Elmore Victor are High Court enforcement agents who work across the north of England.
Oh, it's a beautiful day indeed.
It's 7:30 a.m. They're in Liverpool on their way to evict a family who are behind with their rent.
If people don't pay the rent, then they've got to be evicted.
The landlord claims he hasn't received anything from them for months. But there's a complication.
From what we can read in the notes, one of the occupants is classed as vulnerable.
It's a child, I believe.
Is it a child?
I mean, the case notes say it's a vulnerable child, but that's so wide open, isn't it?
It can be wide open, yeah. Vulnerable is a wide umbrella.
47, 49. There we go.
The landlord's son is there to meet them.
We believe there's a vulnerable child.
Yes.
Well, what do you know the more history about that?
He's on a ventilator.
Right.
So he has a pipe, he's got a mobile machine, he's got oxygen.
Yeah.
All day he said he can move, he can travel, he's
Okay.
good to go.
Right.
But they're playing the game, he can't move, he's too disabled to, that's why they're not
Right.
We'll give it a knock and see if they're open first. If
Okay,
not,
so the farm, that's a side gate.
Right, okay. What's the names?
Powell, Mark.
Although Stuart and Victor know there is a seriously ill child inside the house, the RIP gives them no choice but to evict the family immediately.
Oh, here we go. Can you come to the door, please?
The agents are met by a member of an overnight care team.
There's a baby on a ventilator here. I need to put that child in a place of safety. Can you please give me an hour?
We can do that. That's
Who
no
are you,
problem.
by the way?
We're High Court enforcement agents. We're here now to take over the property.
Right,
Okay, we've got a right of possession for the property.
You're not going to throw them in the street?
Yeah, that's well, we don't throw anyone out on the street. But what we're here to do today is take possession of the. They will be evicted today.
But you're going to give us an hour to sort this out?
Of course we will. Yeah, of course.
Do you want me?
Don't.
The reason why we've stepped out is simply because it is a bit of a shock. So they want to get things arranged and get things sorted, which I understand.
I mean, you know, we're all human at the end of the day. We've all got families. We've got our job to do today, but this is a special case.
A few minutes later, the care worker's shift ends and she leaves the house.
It's on a ventilator, on life support machine.
Yeah.
Just...
Well, I understand that, but
But what?
It's a delicate situation. Stuart wants to explain the process carefully to the family.
We'll try and give you as much time as possible, because I know it's not the best situation at all. Right. So the best thing for you to do now, something like that, you can come back and get your stuff, or simply just change the locks. Okay, so it's a horrible situation. I understand that.
He knows we've got an ill baby.
Yeah.
He knows the situation. He knows we're waiting on the house.
Yeah.
He was just pissed off because we couldn't get out by the time he wanted us to. There's nothing I can do. What if we decide that we can't go?
In the nicest possible way.
Yeah.
You will be leaving today.
Okay.
It was a very difficult situation for me to deal with. You've got to start thinking from the tenant's point of view, not just from the landlord's point of view, that there is a child here that is dependent, his life is dependent on what you do and what your actions are.
An hour after they first arrived, the agents go back to the house.
Ah, yeah, you're alright. Are we able to come in?
Do you have to? We're sorting stuff out.
We would have to come in. Like I said, we're not going to be intruding, we're simply just going to come in and have a chat, that's all.
Once inside, the agents have legal possession of the house. But they're in for a shock.
Do you want to come in, man?
Oh, yeah, you're alright, just pass the cells there.
Yeah, we're just part of the Alter team that manage Riley's care.
Yeah. Sorry, mate, keep out your way. It's alright.
Riley is nearly 2 and needs round-the-clock medical care. He can't breathe on his own and is on constant life support. He lives here with his father Mark, mother Claire, and big brother Callum.
He's a beautiful boy, isn't he?
Yeah, lucky to have him. We found out on a 20-week scan that he had a heart problem because his heart was back to front, and it's in the centre of his chest.
Oh, right.
Because he's got one small lung, so obviously it hasn't pushed it to where it should have been. Because his heart, when they're 8 weeks old in the womb, your heart's meant to do a 360 degrees turn.
Right.
And his has only done half. And when he was born, he didn't think he was going to live. He has to have a ventilator to help him breathe.
What does the doctor say long term in that?
Hopefully he'll be off it by the time between the age of now and 10. He can go up to the age of 10.
I was quite shocked when we walked in and it was a little boy on a life support machine. It's about 2 years old. It was a big shock and emotional, very emotional, to be honest with you. In a situation like that, you do think of your own family and you also realize how blessed we are.
Despite Riley's condition, legally the agents must carry out the eviction today.
It's a writ of possession for this property for today. Because they need this documentation to take it down to the housing association because they will need to go in some kind of emergency accommodation.
But rehousing a little boy like Riley isn't going to be easy.
He needs plug sockets to run his life support equipment off. That needs testing and safety testing. All that takes about 2 or 3 weeks to set up.
Yeah, well,
I'm going to be able to get that in emergency accommodation. So there's absolutely no way to appeal this or...
No.
Not from a high court level.
Riley spent the first 16 months of his life in hospital and only came home 6 months ago. Mark stopped work to look after him and fell behind with the rent.
You have to change all his tapes, change his tubing, medications every so many hours. That is our job.
It is our job.
It's our life.
You can't have a job, basically. It is our job.
You can't leave him because if that pipe comes off, it's life.
These circumstances are unlike any Stuart has ever faced.
We're here to take the property back, but our main concern is the moment. Forget about the house. Main priority is getting the little lad sorted. We're all human at the end of the day.
What's all the time? We've got a time limit to go.
Pack a bag. You've got 7 clear days from today to come back for the rest of your belongings.
The family are now homeless. Riley needs life-saving equipment and round-the-clock care. But the family don't know where they'll be sleeping tonight. Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor were in Liverpool to evict a family with a child on a life support machine.
All day he said he can move, he can travel, he's okay to go.
Right.
But they're playing the game, he can't move, he's too disabled.
But once they saw the situation for themselves, their priorities changed.
We're here to take the property back, but our main concern is the moment. Forget about the house. Main priority is getting the little lad sorted.
Riley's condition is critical.
You can't leave him because if that pipe comes off, it's life-threatening.
Now, the family have to make a crucial decision. As there is little hope of finding emergency accommodation suitable for Riley's life-saving equipment, they have no choice but to admit him back into Alder Hey Hospital.
We have to wait for an ambulance to take him into hospital because we can't go anywhere else with him.
He can't go anywhere else apart from back in hospital, but that could set him back.
He can stay at home. He doesn't have to go into hospital, but now he has to go into hospital, which is...
But moving Riley into hospital means that his brother Callum has to stay somewhere else.
And it split the family up because we've got one child living somewhere else and we've got another child put back in hospital. Living somewhere else and we've got another child put back in hospital.
And we've got nowhere to go.
It's the landlord. The landlord has pushed it through to the High Court and what we've turned up to this address, you see. So it's only when you actually get in behind that door, speak to the parents and actually see it for yourself, you might think, oh.
The family knew they would have to move. They were waiting for the council to finish adapting a house suitable for Riley's needs. The house will be ready in 2 days' time, but their landlord wanted them out today.
See what I mean? Yeah. See how close he knew that we were.
Yeah.
And he still had to put us through this.
Yeah.
The agents have no control over when the High Court writs are issued. But just 48 hours could have prevented Riley from having to go back to the hospital and the family being separated.
The landlord knew this. He knew we were waiting on the property.
It's just not fair.
That someone can actually do that to you, knowing the circumstances that we are going through. I think it's disgusting. I don't know how they're going to sleep at night.
You can't meet a little lad like that and not be affected in any way. He hasn't stopped smiling since we've walked in. He's been bouncing, dancing along to his TV.
It's now 2 o'clock and Riley's ambulance arrives. However, his care team have to make sure they take all of his medication and life-saving equipment, as the locks will be changed as soon as they leave.
2 vents, yeah. 2 suction machines, yeah. 1 sat monitor, yeah. 1 handheld sat monitor in the bag, okay. Meds.
All his meds are in the bag, in the thing. What happens now then?
You just need to arrange with us, and we can arrange with the landlord when you need to come back and collect the rest of your things. All your stuff will be safe and secure, okay?
I'm sorry, baby. Good job you don't know.
6 hours after they first arrived, the eviction is complete. For Vic and Stuart, it has been the most difficult they have ever carried out.
You drive down each street and you don't really see anyone in their houses or anything like that. You don't really know people's stories or people's lives, but they're on it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and their lives are completely turned upside down.
The good news is that he will eventually become off of that life support. It's just at this age, because he's so young, he needs the machine to basically force his lungs to make it stronger, really. So 5 years from now, he might be running around with his brother and his mates outside the property, and that's great. You know, that is really good news. And so hopefully one day that family will have a normal life again.
The latest research shows that despite the economic recovery, 15 million families in the UK are financially living on the edge.
Another day and another potentially stressful job for Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor. This morning, they're in Birmingham to recover a £3,350 debt owed to a landlord for unpaid rent.
Oh, early start.
Early start, Vic. Very early start.
Early bird catches the worm and all that.
Well, it depends what the worm is, isn't it?
The writ instructs Stuart and Vic to collect payment today or remove assets to cover the debt.
It's not a bad area, though. So hopefully when we get there, hopefully there might be a car on the drive, because most of these houses have got big long drives.
But the person named on the writ is not the tenant. It's her father. He agreed to be the guarantor if his daughter fell behind with the rent. Now he's liable for the debt.
Oh, burger bar.
Cat's kitchen.
Cat's kitchen.
And a plate number.
Kitchen.
And a plate number, which I will do an HPI on right away.
There's a car and a mobile kitchen in the driveway. These are assets they could seize if the tenant's father can't or won't pay.
Cat's kitchen. No, I'll tell you what, man. I can go for a full breakfast this morning. Muddy.
Just going to do an HPI, all right? It's Vic, mate. You're right.
Vic checks the car isn't on finance, while Stuart approaches the house.
Hello there, sir. We're after Mr. Palmer.
Yeah.
Is that yourself? Name's Mr. McCracken. I'm a High Court enforcement agent from Direct Collection Bailiffs. It's regarding an outstanding High Court writ.
Going through, love. We're going to court.
Yeah. Like I said, so what's happening with this? You said it's going through court at the moment.
Yeah, I've been down to court. How long ago was it?
Oh, you went up there last week, love, and
Last week?
Yeah.
I've been up there before. I've been up to the court to say that I'm how much I'm willing to pay.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
my circumstances.
The fact of the matter is, because it's been transferred to the High Court, we are now here to take control. We're here to take control of goods unless payment is made.
What can you do?
The total amount outstanding is £3,349.75. It is.
It's 2,200.
It's, yeah, because it's been transferred to the High Court. There's no fees involved.
Why haven't we been informed?
You would have been informed.
We haven't been informed.
Yeah, you would have been informed.
How?
The debt started off as a county court judgment, which can be paid in instalments. But the landlord wanted his money back fast and escalated the case to the High Court.
My daughter wanted to rent a house, but I signed as guarantor for her. She didn't.
Keep up with the repayments, and so they come to
She
you.
missed a month's repayment, but she got in touch with him. She told him all this and said, "Oh, look, I haven't got the money." That she changed the circumstances. Her husband split, and he took us to court. When he got to court, she said that she'd missed 3 months.
Yeah.
No, I know my daughter. My daughter wouldn't miss 3 months, knowing I'm the guarantor and would have to pay it. You know, so we went to court. They turned around and found in his favour. Now, I've done everything by the book. I've told them that I can't afford to pay.
The High Court would have sent warning to Mr. Palmer that he needs to pay immediately. But the agent's visit has come as a shock.
The fact of the matter is that if payment isn't made, we will have to take control of goods. So
You'll have to go back to the court.
We're not going back to court. We're here now to execute a High Court writ. So you need to make a payment. Okay, that's the letter that's been sent out on the 12th of the 5th.
Tell you what, he's a right bastard, and I don't swear he's a right bastard.
I can give you half an hour to see what you can do with
haven't
regards
got
to
any
funds.
money.
We'll have to take control of goods then,
can't.
including the assets on the driveway at the moment.
That's my son's. That's my wife's.
We need to get proof of that. We need to get proof of that.
Well, my son's
Mummy's in Las Vegas at the moment.
Right. Okay. Well, what will happen is the vehicles will get removed
You're not
today.
taking that.
Okay.
You're not.
We need to see some documentation
You're
for
not
that.
taking it.
We need
That's
to see.
my car.
We need to see some proof of that.
We've got.
You can establish in the first 10 minutes what's important to them and what's not. And you got to play on that. Unfortunately, you got to find out what is valuable to them, what they don't want to lose. But everybody's got pressure points. If someone's got a car and he doesn't want to lose his car and it's free of finance, you've got two options. You're either going to pay or we're going to take it away.
It becomes clear the defendants can't pay.
Yeah, I need this ASAP, mate.
Seizing the vehicles could be the agent's next option. Vic hears back from the finance check.
Right, cheers, thank you. It came back free of finance. So we allowed by law to remove it unless they can produce paperwork showing that it's in, well, the lady claims it's in her name. So if she's got a sales invoice or anything like that in her name, we won't remove it.
You've got a catering trailer there. It's worth, in my opinion, maybe £5,000 if it's got the equipment in it. And you've got a Toyota RAV4 there, which 03 plate you'd probably get about 1,500 quid for, maybe 1,800 quid at the most.
Mr. Palmer finds the vehicle's paperwork. It shows his wife is the registered keeper, but it's not proof of ownership.
Have you got a sales invoice for this vehicle?
Sorry?
Have you got a sales invoice?
Oh, God. The sales in, well, we bought it second hand, as you can see, it's not a new car. There isn't any need at all for this. You know, we're decent people, we're not tramps.
It's rich man versus poor man all over again, and it's just then on. We haven't done anything wrong.
He said he's done everything by the book, which is fine, but you need to remember that the client's done everything by the book as well.
Looks like a decent gentleman, pensioner, trying to help his daughter out, and then he got stung with a bull.
I suggest if you speak with your daughter, see if she's got any funds, considering that she's the one that's run up the debt in the first place.
I've been feeding her because she hasn't got any money to buy food even.
Yeah. Sadly, it's not going to stop with what we're here to do today. It's not. There's nothing to do with that, sir. Nothing to do with that at all.
They've got a job.
They've got a job.
Job's worth.
It can be heartbreaking, but you'd do anything for your family. I know I would. I would sign on behalf of somebody in my family, regardless of the situation, because it's your family at the end of the day. But people need to remember that you are signing if they don't pay. If they don't pay, you're liable, and you've signed a contract to say that yes, I will be liable if you do not pay or you default on any of your payments. So I don't understand why it's a shock to people when we turn up at the door and they say, oh, the only way it's going to get resolved is by making a payment. Somebody needs to make a payment. Somebody.
What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to go and rob a fecking bank, are you?
That's not me to tell you what to do, sir. You know what I mean?
All right, you've got your job to do.
Okay, so what I'll do is...
At the end of the day...
After 20 minutes at the house, their daughter Sam, who ran up the debt, and her friend Andy arrive.
How can people seriously do? How can you seriously demand we do something like this?
Morning. Dad, I've tried, they're just not here.
He came to.
Pardon?
Are you sheriffs?
Yeah, High Court.
High Court. Why has he gone to the High Court when there's still in negotiations?
It's not. It's a CCJ that's been honoured.
The claimant has transferred it to the High Court.
So what the claimant has done. It's a CCJ that's been awarded against the defendant. So what the claimant has done is transferred it to the High Court.
Tell you what he's
in the state of a week.
Yeah.
From going from making an offer.
We're in the making an offer stage.
How much is it?
The total amount outstanding is...
It was 2,200, Andy, and now it's all of a sudden it's gone up to 3,200.
How can you do that?
It's on the
no notification.
Stuart and Vic are at gridlock with the whole family. With tensions rising, will they get the £3,000 they came for? Stuart and Vic were in Birmingham to collect a High Court writ of £3,350 caused by a tenant defaulting on their rent.
What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to go and rob a fecking bank, are you?
That's not me to tell you what to do, sir.
They were authorised to collect the money from the father of the tenant, as he'd signed as guarantor.
But the only way it's going to get resolved is by making a payment. Somebody needs to make a payment. Somebody.
But Mr. Palmer claimed he couldn't pay.
Can't take blood from a stone.
And his daughter and her friend arrived to back him up.
How can people seriously do?
Now a simple debt recovery has turned into a standoff.
You haven't notified these people that this is going to happen.
A letter has been sent out. A letter has been sent out.
When was the letter sent out?
12th of the 5th. Notice of enforcement was sent to this address.
So hang on. So he's kind of gone, he's jumped the gun.
What you can do.
He's jumped the gun.
I mean,
he's took a legal stance and he's jumped the gun.
I wouldn't say jump the gun. The second it's awarded against you.
He's used the law to his advantage.
Isn't that what the law's there for?
The law's an asset.
If the payment of £3,349 isn't made in 20 minutes, we will be taking control of goods.
Hang on a minute. Can I have a look at the...
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah.
Normally there's a good cop and a bad cop. Because Stuart is taking the lead of the case, he will be portrayed as the bad cop. I normally try and calm the debtor down because he won't have a beef with both of us. He will normally focus on one of us and take his frustration out on that agent. That will give me the opportunity to try and calm him down. Normally take him by the arm and just say, let's step aside, let's work this out. It's £3,200 and whatever pennies. If we come to an agreement today, you make some kind of... There has to be a payment today. There's no doubt about that. To stop any action from removing vehicles.
It's a stalemate. But then the daughter's friend makes a surprising offer.
So you're in position to cut a deal?
What kind of deal?
Amount?
What kind of deal?
Well, they agreed to paying that in court.
Right.
I'll give you that right now.
No. There needs to be the full amount. If not, it's removal of goods.
Right, okay, I'll pay you now.
Okay, how can you make the payments?
Debit card. Pay me all that now. Pay me all that now.
The family friend has agreed to pay off the debt.
This man has took full advantage of this old couple. Sam rented a house off this guy. He was very naughty with the way he's kippered her up regards payments, regards damage to the house. She actually done the house out. He's gone after him, gone for this debt. But to try and enforce it onto her mum and dad, who are retired people, not good enough.
I'll take the notice off the vehicle, eh?
I'm just a friend of the family, just trying to keep everybody happy here.
So if that's go through, so should we have the signal?
I've taken the notice off the vehicle. According to us, this is the end.
There you go.
These aren't people who are trying to run and hide. These are people who are trying to deal with things. These are genuine people. These aren't duckers and divers with the dealers. I would have helped them out. They're too proud. That's the problem. Yeah. Unfortunately.
I appreciate your level head, sir.
Got to be level-headed.
All the best anyway, though, sir.
All the best to yourself.
I think he is a genuine guy. He's trying to help the family out, which is fair play to him. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I think we got a good result.
The case is resolved and the family's cars are safe, thanks to their daughter's friend.
New research shows Britain is in the grip of a debt crisis, with families in the UK owing nearly £1.5 trillion, and it's the middle classes who are the most likely to be in heavy debt.
High Court enforcement agents Brian O'Shaughnessy and Del Anglin are in Kent with a writ to collect just over £2,000 owed by a business selling novelty globes, Globy Limited. But first, they must find the right address for its director.
So what we've got here is an individual that's very difficult to track down. He's got numerous addresses, prior residencies, just messy, evasive.
The business owner, David Sinclair, seems to be linked to several addresses, so Brian does some research.
46-year-old David Sinclair, an accountant. His idea was to put a city map onto a globe, something he realised had not been done before. The result is the Globy, and it is now selling in thousands across the UK and around the world. Father of four sold 2 properties to allow him to invest £400,000 in the project, but yet can't pay an original debt of £2,000 to the claimant. It's a bloody joke, isn't it?
Brian finds the globes are being sold through another company, Globy International, but with no address, Del turns detective.
Yes, good afternoon. Can you put collages on globes?
Collage, as in what?
Pictures? Pictures.
We can do, yes.
Where could I come to see your works?
Well, you can see them all online. I mean, we don't actually have a shop ourselves.
So if I wanted to, where would I send the details to if I wanted to send you an order or something? Just might be a one-off as a present for my mum's birthday. It's her 80th, so...
Well, you could, I mean, by all means, I mean, if you drop me an email of what you want, and I'll get a costing for you.
Okay, thanks very much.
That's all right. Okay, cheers.
Thank you, bye-bye.
He didn't give anything away there, did he?
That was a bit clever.
Mr. Sinclair still seems to be in business, but with no confirmed address, Brian calls the office.
Hello, mate. Yep. Okay, we're off to Globy Limited. Just spoken to him on the phone.
After a search, a colleague unearths an address.
Oh,
after all this time.
You just made my day. So the office is handy sometimes.
Very much.
Let's get down there, come on, let's do it.
Okay. Chocks away.
The plot thickens.
The agents arrive at what they hope is Mr. Sinclair's home.
Let's get in the yard.
Brian and Del are allowed to enter the property through an open door to deliver the writ.
Hello? Hello? High Court enforcement? Hello, is Mum in? Hello? Mr. Sinclair?
Yeah.
High Court enforcement agent, sir.
Hi.
I'm here on behalf of DCBL.
Yeah.
We've got a High Court writ, which you're obviously aware about.
Yeah, that's it.
Here to collect £1,323.20.
It's all in dispute.
So the amount does need to be paid.
Well, it can't be paid because there's nothing the company has ceased to trade.
Has it?
What are you trading as now then?
I'm not trading as anything. If you check on the website...
It's still showing... Still showing on their active proposed to
strike off, correct?
Well, still trading then, isn't it?
It's not trading.
Mr. Sinclair claims that because Globy Limited has ceased to trade and is about to be dissolved, he's not. The agents want to find out more about the company Del called earlier, Globy International.
Well, Globy International as well.
Globy International was a company that my wife set up at the beginning of 2012 when my wife and I temporarily separated. She got money to set up a business, which she did. My business, Globy Limited, I lost my father, I lost my house. We then decided we're going to try and give it another go because we got the children. But Globy Limited has gone.
I understand that, sir.
Yeah?
I just want to cut to the chase, okay? When I phoned you, we spoke about whether or not you could provide me with something, right? And the indication was yes. So let us cut the nonsense, get down to the nitty-gritty, right? Because you would have been quite happy to have done business with me had I...
Was it you?
Yes, it was me. It was me. So therefore, all this nonsense about it not trading and all this is rubbish. Because
No,
you
it's
answered
not.
it. You look, if I'd put in an order, I'd have got one from you.
Globy Limited has gone.
Well, that's how you answered it, Globy Limited. Or
Because
Globy
Globy is the logo.
I prefer to have a look around your house and see if there is anything here belonging to the company. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Is anything here belonging to the company? Is that okay?
Yeah. You can get round through the back.
Let's have a look then, sir, because we're wasting time really.
Feel free to have a look. I'll leave the door.
Thank you very much, Tom.
I'm just going to phone my wife.
No problem, that's fine.
Dell believes that David Sinclair is still trading. If he can't or won't pay, the agents can seize business assets to the value of the debt.
He's got globes here. What do they sell for, do you think?
Hey? Just need receipts for the stuff then, that's it.
Well, I don't know what you're going to do. There's a few bits and pieces of a Globy there.
The agents find some leftover stock, the result of a business venture gone wrong.
When I had a prototype of our first globe back in 2009, I think, and I went to John Lewis, and I badgered to get into John Lewis for them to see me for ages, and eventually they let me in. And I remember the guy, and he said, we'll probably place a first order for about 10,000 units. And I remember walking back to Victoria train station. I was walking on air. I thought, fabulous. I probably got carried along with it a bit too much, which subconsciously, I suppose, was greed, thinking, we're going to make a few million quid overnight here. We're going to make a few million quid overnight here.
But the unused stock is not enough to cover the debt.
Mr. Sinclair, is there a reason why you don't want to pay this woman, Herman?
She had invoiced me over the course of a couple of years, roughly, I guess, 20 grand, and she got paid about 18 of it. And the reason, as I said, that the rest, the other 2 grand or whatever it was, didn't get paid was because the company had ceased, and the reason it had ceased was because I lost my house. If I'd had funds, I would have paid it. I lost my house. The personal problems I had. The personal problems I had. The company had ceased to trade.
Mr. Sinclair's wife and children arrive home.
Hello.
Thousands as well.
Situation at the moment.
I've got a pop.
Right.
I've got one. And I can go and get.
I don't disbelieve you. I've got no reason. I've got no reason to disbelieve.
I don't disbelieve.
The agents now have to make a decision.
Can I just have a quick moment with my colleague? Just cut this. If you could just go in there, that'd be great. Yeah, whatever you want. Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you so much. Cheers. What's your thoughts? Yeah. Because he's paid £18,000 from a £20,000 debt, so he's not an evader. He's paid it was 20 grand. He's paid 18, so he's not an evader. The company just ceased to trade.
With Mr. Sinclair's company, Globy Limited, close to being dissolved, and not enough company assets to pay off the debt, Brian and Dell decide not to pursue it.
There's a couple of globes in here. There's a couple in there. It's not going to reach £2,500.
The failure of the business has had a major effect on Mr. Sinclair.
6-7 years ago, I probably had an E1 credit rating, had a lovely house, swimming pool, 5 bedrooms, acre of land, very pleasant, very comfortable, probably worked about 3.5 days a week. Then this idea took over, and obviously the whole thing's imploded. But my wife and I were basically working 25 hours a day, 8 days a week to resurrect things.
Unfortunately, the claimant on this one, it's going to be difficult for them to get their money because the company's not trading anymore. You can't get blood out of a stone sometimes, so it's just unfortunate. But, he's a nice chap. He's tried. He's paid the majority of the debt, and he just can't pay the last amount because, the company wasn't trading.
I was an accountant. I know people that they try and close companies down and then set another one up, and with the stock and all this sort of thing. I know that goes on. But it wasn't us. I've lost I have lost everything. The only thing I haven't lost is my family.
Despite their determination, and Dell have come away empty-handed. But their next case will test their talents for investigation to the limit.
If you can't pay this today, we're going to look to take control of goods, get some trucks in, remove them.
I've exhausted my channels.
The bank won't help you then?
No.
Now we can't trust anything he says.
More than half of new small businesses in the UK are failing to survive longer than 5 years. Top of the list of worries is cash flow, with 43% saying they're currently experiencing problems.
Chesham, Buckinghamshire.
Right, what are we doing now, Dale? We're going on a revisit, aren't we?
Brian and Dell have a writ to collect a debt of over £4,000 from a business that recycles second-hand airline seats.
Yes, it looks like we're going to SD Aviation Aircraft Interior Recycling Limited.
It's not the first time Brian has tried to collect the debt.
Yeah, Kevin and I attended this one. This was, we've got lots of aircraft seats and parts of planes.
Okay.
Which are quite valuable.
The money is owed to a supplier that the business failed to pay.
I'll just tell him that the sun's shining, please don't make the thunder and lightning come.
On their first visit, the debtor, Aaron Day, claimed he couldn't pay. This time, Brian and Dell want results. The warehouse is full of potentially valuable aircraft seats. They could seize to offset the debt. The agents find Mr. Day sitting in his office with a colleague.
Afternoon.
You alright?
I'm good, how are you, sir?
Yeah, good, thanks.
High Court Enforcement Agency, you know that, yeah?
Yeah.
I understand there was an issue last week because, I don't know, cash flow or whatever it was.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
It's got to be paid today.
I haven't got it here, mate.
We're going to have to seize assets then. You've got to pay it. We said you were going to pay it Friday and then Monday the latest.
Yeah, I know, but it just didn't come in.
Can anyone help you with it to get it paid today? And then you pay him back? Anyone at all?
No, I can't do that. I've exhausted my channels.
The bank won't help you then?
No, I've got this guaranteed 15 grand coming in. I know that, it's just not hitting the time frame.
Mr. Day says he's waiting for a £15,000 payment from HM Revenue and Customs.
Do you know if the HMRC have actually sent out the cheque?
Yeah, they have.
The HMR system says it's on its way. If you can't pay this today, we're going to look to take control of goods, get some trucks in and remove them.
Mr. Day claims he can't pay, but then he makes the team an offer.
Yeah, you can take 4 of those seats, and that is
we'll grand. I'm not an expert. We'll have a look around and we'll determine what we're taking. When you explain to her that you know you're going to take control of their goods and possibly remove them, you really see what they're made of. And what I mean by that is, you'll see the individuals that will scrimp and scrape, make that telephone call, try everything tooth and nail to prevent that action.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you take today?
Everything.
The contract's with British Airways. BA's assets.
Cool.
So you wouldn't be able to touch that.
So why is BA's assets in here? What's the contract? What's the conditions?
The contract is I buy those.
Right.
And they're holding here as soon as I pay them, they're mine. So it is technically, legally, underneath the contract, BA's stock until I pay for it.
After first offering them some stock, Mr. Day now backtracks, claiming the airline seats aren't his after all. Dell is suspicious.
Right, Brian, the issue is the goods are his. Right? We take those goods. It's his responsibility.
He still has to pay for them.
He still has to
like a loan, isn't it?
That's our issue.
With no offer to pay, Brian decides that seizing assets today is the only way to clear the debt.
I don't want to wait any longer. And if you can't pay it today, I'm going to take control of goods inside this warehouse. Apparently it's quite expensive stuff, about £150,000 worth of stock in there. Well, I'm not an expert. I don't have a bloody clue what I'm looking at.
Brian calls a colleague, Paul Bowhill, for advice.
Hello. Paul, it's Brian. How you doing?
All right, thank you, sir.
I'm in a place at the moment, commercial property, and they deal with plane spare parts. I'm just basically calling in, the value of this kind of stuff.
It's such a restricted market.
Yeah.
I would value the stock at less than 10%.
Less than 10%, yeah?
So in other words, if you're looking to recover 100 grand, you'd need £1 million worth of stock.
Fine. So if I've got 4 grand there, what we're looking at, 40 grand.
I'd really go over the top because it's such specialised stuff, hypothetically it could end up being sold for scrap.
So basically you're talking about clearing them out then, really?
Yeah.
All right, that's great. Cheers, Paul.
It seems that while the stock might be valuable to Mr. Day's business, it could be hard to sell, and Brian has no idea how much the seats might fetch at an auction.
Looking good on the following basis. Because your goods are quite specialised items, we might not be able to sell it at all. And that comes to the point, for £4,000 debt, we'd look to clear out most of your stuff here today. If I can't get it paid in half an hour, I'm going to start calling the necessary HGV lorries to come here and do so.
The deadline is set. The next 30 minutes could make or break Mr. Day's business.
You don't run a business like this without having some form of contingency fund. You're just going to have to dig into it.
But Mr. Day then presents the agents with a bombshell. He says his colleague has spoken to the claimant directly, who's given him more time to pay.
All right, mate.
Right, he's just spoken to the guy. He's going to ring your office, see if you can just give us 5 days. He's happy to wait.
Go on, make a call to the office and let them know that they're trying to get hold of him.
Just need 5 days, man.
Let me call him now.
Need 5 days, man.
Let me call him now.
Brian calls the office to check Mr. Day is telling the truth.
Okay, fine. All right, that's cool. Cheers. Bye. It's weird. He's explained to our office that he hasn't made no such agreement with you, and he's going to call you back now and tell you you've got to deal with us. So I'm just relaying the message. Listen, don't shoot the messenger.
Brian's been told that the claimant hasn't made any offer of a 5-day extension.
Someone's telling a porcupine, eh? Interesting.
He speaks with forked tongue. Now we can't trust anything he says.
But the threat of losing all his stock has spurred Mr. Day into action. An associate has agreed to pay off some of Mr. Day's debt for him.
I'll show it to my cousin. Are you in the country?
Is he paying card, is he? Hello? Is he paying by card? Is he paying by card, is he?
He wants the bank details.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll do it now.
Mr. Day's associate decides to pay the office directly. Brian calls to check the amount.
£4,000 paid. He's paid another £120.61. They'll pay that.
The associate has wiped out most of Mr. Day's debt in just 1 month. Now Dell needs to get Mr. Day to pay the balance.
You've got it, haven't you?
£4,000 we have, so we just need £120.61.
Joking. Well, about 60 quid might get on the sale for I'm just about to make it.
Yeah.
Anyway, how much is it?
£120.61.
Mr. Day now asks another colleague to pay the remaining £120.
Your payment has been made. There's a confirmation. That's from me, UK Recycling IT Limited.
We should wait for that to hit and then we'll be at your air.
Your part paid as well, so it should be within the hour or so.
Thanks to his associates, Mr. Day's business is safe. The end to a debt that he didn't contest.
I should have gone to court, and the reason I couldn't go to court because on that particular morning I had 2 boys at home that were sick and my wife wasn't there. If I'd gone to court I would have won, but because I didn't attend court it was viewed in the favour of the claimant. So that's my fault for not going to court.
Okay, well done, Brian.
Yeah. And in just an hour and a half, Brian and Dell have got what they came for. Next time, Steve and Paul meet a tenant who won't budge.
Hello. The first thing they do is, once they see us, good morning, they break down in tears.
Brian and Dell's patience is pushed to the limit.
We're not idiots, you know, and we know what's probably gone on. All I want's the truth of the matter, and now we're getting somewhere.
And Kevin turns detective.
Don't believe a word he's saying to me. He just lied to me since the minute I walked in here.
And tomorrow night at 8, there's another chance to see the Can't Pay Christmas special. People often come to blows over minor things, but sometimes those minor things get out of control. New The Nightmare Neighbour Next Door, tomorrow at 9. Next on Channel 5.
Threats.
Get hurt! I'll smash his head.
Anger.
Because Call the policeman. Call the policeman!
Listen. Desperation. What happens when debt...
I know my rights. Do not touch me again.
Tracks you down.
I'm not even paying a penny of it.
Up and down the UK.
You come to the door, please.
We see Britain's most resilient High Court enforcement agents.
Can't believe that's been in there.
Dealing with every debtor's worst nightmare.
Get over here!
Today
is actually my birthday.
Because if you can't pay,
really don't have any money to make payment.
They'll take it away. Personal debt in the UK is on the rise, with the total amount owed currently standing at over £1.5 trillion. In early 2017, a leading advisory body in England and Wales dealt with nearly 3,500 new debt problems every day. High Court enforcement agent Steve Pinner and Max Caraher are in Greenford, West London. They have a writ to recover a large debt owed to a garden landscaping company.
We're looking to collect £21,762.28.
The debtor was ordered to pay substantial costs to the claimant after losing a county court case. But he failed to pay. The case has now been escalated to the High Court. The debtor must pay the money he owes today.
Windows wide open, with the new Mercedes outside. Right, let's give him a knock.
If the Mercedes outside the house belongs to the debtor, it could be seized to offset the debt if he can't or won't pay the £21,000.
Hello, madam.
Yeah, before, just I am Tahani.
Oh, you knew?
Yeah.
Have you got a copy of your tenancy agreement or rent agreement?
What this mean?
Paperwork. Sorry?
You need letter for me?
Paperwork to show who lives here.
Council tax?
Anything like that.
Okay, 1 second.
Yes, no problem. Thanks very much.
As the agents often get lied to, Max and Steve need to see proof that the debtor doesn't live here anymore.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, you're a star.
She shows Max a council tax bill.
When did you move in?
How long have you been here?
6 years. 6 years.
How many people live here?
Me and my kids.
How many kids do you have?
3.
3 kids?
Yeah.
It's just you and 3 children? There's no adult males?
No.
No, okay. I'm just going to look around, okay? Give me 2 minutes. It's all right. It's nothing to worry about.
The council tax bill is in a woman's name only. But this address has been confirmed as the debtor's home. So Max decides to investigate further.
Never take people at their first word, because often they're lying. It's something we're used to, and I suppose at the end of the day, I just need to find the documents to prove what they've already told me.
Upstairs in the bedroom, he makes an important discovery.
I don't believe that.
The debtor's driving licence.
Right. Isn't it a coincidence? The first thing I find in a wallet by the bed, our defendant has a date of birth 10/8/75. 10/8/75. This is our man.
Yeah, that my husband,
With the truth unravelling, Max probes further.
I said, did any males live here?
Yeah, just he's
Oh,
sometimes come
okay.
here, he's,
Sometimes.
He's half another house.
The woman now denies the debtor lives with his family permanently. So Max goes back upstairs to hunt for more evidence. He finds a range of men's clothes in the wardrobe. It suggests the debtor is more than just an occasional visitor. But then Max finds a letter.
Bingo.
What you got? Okay, show the lady.
It's a letter sent to the debtor at this address from the NHS.
The keys to his vehicle are there. His wallet's here with all his cards and all that. Get him on the phone for me, please. He's got a bill to pay. Until we find that key piece of evidence that indicates that the defendant does live at the address we're in, we're on thin ice. But when we do find that key piece of evidence, it really changes things. We can turn up the pressure and start enforcing.
The woman tries to call, but Max hears a phone ringing in the room next door.
You're trying to phone this phone that I've just found in the drawer.
As the woman seems unable to contact the debtor, Steve turns his attention to the Mercedes parked outside. A quick search reveals an insurance certificate for the vehicle, naming the debtor as the owner. Steve now calls for a vehicle check.
Oh yeah, free finance.
Free of finance?
It certainly is.
Wow, okay. It's interesting. How much do you think it's worth? Is there anything on it?
Probably about 10 or 11 grand, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say something around there.
Yeah.
All right, lovely. Thank you very much. Speak soon.
No problem. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
As the car is worth almost half of the debt, it's a valuable asset the agents can seize. With the car clamped, Max calls for a recovery vehicle.
Said it's going to be about 90 minutes, so shuffling around a couple of calls to get it out.
Yeah, no problem.
But now the agents need to make an inventory of any other assets of value inside the house.
We have a roller cab, full to the brim.
There's a selection of tools there, which will be extremely heavy.
But the woman is becoming concerned.
You taking what you take?
Not the children's stuff, no.
All right.
No, nothing for the children.
All right.
Nothing that actually belongs to you. Okay?
All right.
The children, no, not at all. We can't take children.
It's okay. I will go bring him to my son. He's left.
Oh, yeah.
You're welcome to collect him.
The woman now says she has to pick her children up from school.
Easy, go this way.
Lift up, got it.
So Max and Steve quickly remove the assets.
Madam, we'll put some paperwork through here so you can lock the door, that's fine.
The woman locks the door and leaves from the back of the house. The agents start to load goods into the van.
Really light.
But just moments later, a man suddenly appears from the back of the house.
Hello, sir. Where have you come from, sir?
What's all this about?
We have a high court writ for you.
Well, this is my ex-wife's and kids. I live elsewhere.
Okay.
You shouldn't take anything off her. It's her television.
The TV?
Yeah, it's her television.
You have to prove it, okay? There's an outstanding balance, okay?
On what? I really can't understand.
These people have instructed...
I don't live here.
Okay, well, that's funny because your driving licence, credit cards, the key to your car, tools, it's all in the house.
What I'm saying is, this is my ex-wife's house.
Okay.
But then the debtor spots the clamp on the Mercedes.
What are you taking my car for?
Right, if you can pay the $24,000...
I'm not paying a penny. I've got no money.
This is a $9 grand car, and there's at least $2 grand's worth, $1.5 grand.
No, you're not getting that.
It's a standoff. With the debtor in direct conflict with the agents, it will take all of Max and Steve's tenacity to get this case resolved. Max Caraher and Steve Pinner were in Greenford, West London, to collect a debt of nearly £22,000. The woman they met claimed the debtor didn't live there, but Max found evidence suggesting otherwise.
The keys to his vehicle are there. His wallet's here with all his cards and all that.
Steve clamped his Mercedes.
How much do you think it's worth?
Probably about 10 or 11 grand, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But just as they began to seize other valuable assets from the house, the debtor suddenly appeared.
What are you taking my car for?
Right, if you can pay the $24,000...
I'm not paying a penny.
Now the agents must make it clear that they have every right to continue to enforce the writ here today.
You're not taking anything.
We are. We've got to take the car.
It's financed.
What's financed? What's financed?
It's unfinanced.
It's not.
Well, it's being cleared. I've just cleared that.
You've just cleared the finance?
Yeah.
So it's not on finance?
I've just paid off my student loan.
Okay.
Okay, I'm student.
So it's not on finance?
Well, at the moment, no.
Correct. So we can take it.
I don't know anybody. I'm going to take it to court.
Okay, it's obviously it's been to court twice.
Mate,
who are these people?
He now says he knows nothing about the debt.
We're going to try and get our thinking heads on. Have you ever done any business ventures before?
Mate, nothing
You've
at
had
all.
no business ventures?
No.
Steve calls the office.
Hi, mate. The gentleman here, obviously, it's a large amount of money, and he says that he knows nothing about it. He would just like some idea of what it's to do with.
But it's a car accident, basically. What happened is, Dad was parked at a roundabout. Our client drove into the back of him. He went to court, and it was awarded against him, and all paperwork was served at the address that you're at.
Okay, lovely. Thank you very much. Okay, so you now know as much as we know. It was a car accident.
Okay.
It went to court. You lost. The court then...
No, I didn't lose.
Okay.
I didn't lose on that time.
Well, okay.
The debtor suddenly seems to know all about the case.
I couldn't get in touch with anybody else.
Well, you heard the same information that I heard. I can't tell you anything else.
But then he makes an unexpected move. He walks off, leaving his Mercedes to the agents, and gives up the fight.
They do like making us bloody work for it, don't they?
When people lie to us, we ask all sorts of questions, and then we ask them in a different manner or a different time. And 9 times out of 10, they make the mistake of not giving the same answer. So liars need very good memories. So that's where they fall over.
Minutes later, the recovery vehicle arrives.
Oh yes, there's my boy, and they've got space for the stuff.
Okay, it's all yours.
The car will be sold at public auction. Any proceeds raised from its sale and from the other items seized will be used to offset the debtor's £21,000 debt.
Thank you very much, mate. You take care.
But if he doesn't pay the outstanding balance, the agents will be back.
It was on the depths of beyond.
Well, Mr. Pinner, I thought it was going to rain today, and it's been the hottest day of the year to lug around tool chests, televisions, and a vehicle.
Okay, coffee truck.
Recent research has shown that self-employed workers in the UK are increasingly suffering from late payment of invoices. Nearly half report that they're struggling to make ends meet due to late payments, while more than a third have had to seek financial assistance from family and friends. Enfield, Middlesex. High Court Enforcement Agent Aaron Groves and colleague Ian Taylor are on their way to recover a debt of nearly £4,000.
What do you reckon? Doesn't look a bad area, does it?
No, it doesn't look too bad, really.
The claimant was a supplier who wasn't paid the full amount for his services at a music festival organised by the debtor.
Let's hope he's in.
After failing to get his money back through the county court, the claimant escalated the case to the High Court, and now the debtor must pay in full today.
Morning, Inspector. We've got a matter we need to discuss with you. Do you mind if we just come in and have a chat?
What's this about?
It's regarding a case. You've been taken to Northampton County Court.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Well, they've obtained a judgment against you.
Yeah.
Which hasn't been paid, so they've escalated to the High Court.
Yeah, well, we've contested it. It's
Okay.
been, I've got a solicitor on the case.
Okay.
And it's been all officially done. I don't owe the money. I'm innocent. They made a mistake.
Right.
Do you want to come inside?
Aaron and Ian need to make it clear to the debtor that although he may have disputed the case, it hasn't gone back to court yet, and so the writ is still active. The agents now have to enforce the judgment.
Today we're here to collect £3,792.30.
Well, you're not.
Can you not pay that today?
No, I don't owe it. I'll show. I've got.
I'll give you a copy of the court order that says you do owe it.
Yeah. We're applying it for it to be set aside. It's not been set aside yet. It's in process.
Well, that means it's active.
And that does mean that you're now liable to pay.
Any money you pay today is held by our company for 14 days to give you a chance to appeal against it.
I haven't got any money.
Okay.
And I don't owe it.
But what I'm going to start doing now is I'm going to start walking around the property to do an inventory of goods that we're going to be looking to remove.
Oh, for God's sake! This is not right.
Well, you need to pay it.
I haven't got any money. Can you step outside?
No, we're inside the property now.
Quite a lot of the time, the person will be focused more on the dispute than the fact that we're there to collect the money or remove goods. It's our job to make them realise that we are there to collect the money. We're not there to listen to the story. There's a dispute process for a reason.
Realising Aaron and Ian aren't going to go away, the debtor gets his father on the phone.
Dad, I've got 2 enforcement officers in my house and they want to remove goods. They say I owe it. This is my father.
The defendant
dealing with the...
Okay. Hello?
What you're doing is absolutely outrageous.
Unfortunately though, sir, while there's not a stay on the case, that does make it enforceable. So what will happen today is we're going to be removing goods.
I would like to have time to my solicitor about this, because what's going on here is really, really wrong. Surely to God, you can give us just a little bit of slack here.
Sir,
you're enforcing something which is wrong.
But it's not wrong, sir. We've got the paperwork that says that we should be here.
This is just, it's like living in Russia.
Well, I'm afraid we're the ones that are sent here to come and do the job, sir, so it will need to be paid.
What is the sum, please?
The outstanding is £3,792.30.
Whoa. I am prepared to pay you that, but I would ask you, please, to allow me to make one phone call to my solicitor first, because I have an awful feeling that this money will be down the drain. Can I just make one phone call? I just want confirmation from somebody on my side of the fence.
By all means, you can make a phone call, that's fine.
Whilst Aaron and Ian wait for the man's father to call back, they're keen to find out more about the case.
What's the debt relating to, if you don't mind me asking?
It's just a little dispute. He owed me some money which he didn't pay, and then when we did this festival, he wanted all his expenses back, and I offset everything properly. And he's just said I owe a load of money, and if you do that on a court form, then this can happen.
5 minutes later, the man's father calls back.
Hello?
He confirms what I said, that we have raised this dispute with the court. This is a completely incorrect enforcement. Is there nothing you can do to give us time to get that instruction from the court? Because you and I both know that if I pay this money, the chances of getting back is going to be difficult. It will be expensive. It will take me a month of Sundays. We can afford the thing, it's just a dispute.
Unfortunately, sir, I would advise paying it.
Yeah, but I'm not going to get it back, am I? I mean, can you not give me an hour?
Sir, look, no matter what you do, it's not going to get you put on hold today.
Just a second, that's a phone call from the solicitor. Can I ring you back in a second?
Quite a lot of the time, the solicitor will try and stop us from enforcing with various different ways, from claiming that they're going to apply to have the writ set aside, which of course it doesn't happen immediately. So nothing they do or say is going to stop it. We're here and now, still with the case.
As the to and fro of calls continues, Aaron decides to give the debtor another chance to pay.
Can you pay this debt?
Give us a minute, mate.
Aaron's patience has now run out.
Right, mate, I'm now going to start the removal process, okay?
With no sign of payment, Aaron and Ian start an inventory of assets in the house.
Have you looked upstairs yet?
No, not yet. Do you want to get the car clamped up as well?
Ian immobilises the man's car, while Aaron rings for a removal truck.
At the moment, the payment keeps being delayed. Can you send out a removal van on that, please?
So you need a large Luton, yeah? Okay, no problem. I'll get that sorted. I'll sign it for you straight away.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'll see you soon. Cheers, thank you. Bye-bye.
Now Ian needs to make it clear what will happen if assets are removed.
The money's held for 14 days. If we remove goods, they're only held for 7 before they go to auction.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Well, that'll make the law. I'm just here to enforce it.
Then, the debtor's father calls again.
Okay, I've spoken to her solicitor and I understand that we have no recourse. I really am protesting in the strongest way possible about this whole procedure. It's wrong. But if we have no option, we have no option. How do we pay you this money?
The debtor's father finally appears to have accepted Aaron's authority.
Okay, are you ready for the details, sir?
Yeah.
He pays off his son's debt in full.
I think when a debtor falls into debt, it's ultimately their responsibility, and I think it should be them to get themselves out of debt. But of course, it doesn't happen like that most of the time.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, mate.
I'll be removing the clamp before we leave.
Please do, yeah. I don't want to keep that.
Don't want a souvenir. They've got 14 days to make an appeal. If he doesn't owe the money, then he'll be given his money back, won't he? But that's not our decision to make. We're just there to collect the money. We're not even there to get involved in disputes of right or wrong. At the end of the day, a writ's been issued, that person owes the money.
Thanks to their persistence, Aaron and Ian got the outcome they wanted. But in Stephen Max's next case,
Mr. Ali!
a routine eviction
We have a High Court writ to repossess the property.
exposes a bitter feud.
Why is he abusing me? He's abusing me.
A recent survey has revealed that nearly half of landlords in the UK have had a tenant evicted from their property in the last 3 years due to rent arrears. Last year, over a third of private landlords were owed money by their tenants, with the average amount exceeding £1,600. High Court enforcement agents Max Carraher and Steve Pinner are back on the road. This time they're in Hounslow, Middlesex, to carry out an eviction.
We're off to see Mr. Salim Ali, Mr. Mohammed Irfan, and all other occupiers.
But this is no ordinary eviction.
We have a writ of possession combined with a writ of control. We're also looking to collect £3,454.75.
The agents have 2 jobs to do. One to take back the property, and another to reclaim 6 months' worth of unpaid rent owed to the landlord, Mr. Bansal. He's here to meet the agents.
Morning, gentlemen. Mr. Banzel.
Yes. Hi there.
Steve.
Hello,
nice
Steve.
to meet you.
And you?
Okay, let's go and through the front door.
Yes, please.
Do they like you?
I'm not sure. I haven't spoken to them for quite a few months now, so...
Well, maybe a good idea if you just to wait here for a second till we... Do you have any keys at all?
Yeah, I just get...
Okay, brilliant.
The landlord's parents are also
What
here.
is that?
His father hands them the keys.
Okay. I'll be with 1 minute. Just stay there.
The tenants live on the upper floor of the semi-detached house.
We'll do this one and then we'll go up. Lock on the first floor.
Thanks very much.
Put a new lock in.
They have changed it.
Yeah. Okay. Mr. Ali! Do you have a bar or anything to open the door with?
The agents have the right to force entry to repossess the property if no one answers.
Thank you.
But it seems there is someone in after all.
Good morning. Mr. Ali? Okay. Good morning. And you are Mr. Irfan. Okay. We're enforcement agents and we have a High Court writ to repossess the property. Okay? Can you come in? Yes, please. Thank you.
The man, Mr. Irfan, is one of the tenants named on the writ.
Is it just you here now?
Just only
Ali lives here, not me. But I came yesterday to stay here with him for the night. He's gonna come back later on.
What's his stuff?
This is all his stuff.
Okay, and your stuff?
I don't have anything.
Oh, you don't have anything?
No.
Okay, well, you're going to have to pack your clothes and that. I suggest you call him.
No.
Is he local?
He said that he's going to go to Chester.
Chester?
Leicester.
Leicester. Well, he's not local then, is he? Okay, well, he will have to make arrangements to come and collect his stuff.
While Mr. Irfan starts to pack up his friend's belongings, the landlord's father tells Max more about the case.
They did show us the statement of £30,000 earning, and we given them the property. And as soon as they moved into the property, the first rent they stopped it. They said, we're not going to pay. They have been parking about 5-6 cars here. When we ask them why these cars are, they say, we are rich people, we got 6 cars. There are a lot of things we wanted to do which we have cancelled it because the finance was not coming in. So I mean, financially, yes, they have just ruined our life.
But upstairs, Mr. Irfan has overheard the conversation and he's not happy.
Please, I don't want to see them because if they abuse again, they abuse in my language.
It's really words, okay? Shut your ears. I'll tell them to keep it down, okay? I know you understand they have a problem with you. You have to understand that.
Not with me, with Salim.
With the greatest respect, your name is on it as well, so the problem is with both of you. Okay. So you have to understand that.
No, but again, we shouldn't be...
But they're cross.
They're
angry. They're owed money. They're angry.
It's always our choice to try and keep the landlord away from the house whilst we're doing an eviction. Simple reason is they're not going to get on. One doesn't like the other. Either way, there's a reason they're being evicted, so if we can keep them apart, there's going to be no arguments.
The agents have been at the property for just under an hour. Mr. Irfan is almost ready to leave, but now Steve has to make him aware that getting the flat back is only half the story.
There is £3,500 outstanding.
It seems that no payment can be made, but it's clear that there's nothing of value in the flat.
There's not a great deal, is there?
Collecting on the £3,500 is going to be nigh on impossible.
Steve breaks the bad news to the landlord.
There's about £2.20 worth of whatever's in the flat. You're not going to get it. And that's the honest truth. All I can suggest is that you let them settle somewhere else and then go after them. Okay? There is absolutely nothing in there. There's a wardrobe, a clothes horse, mattress on the floor.
They took everything. They've taken everything. They've taken everything. I think
okay.
They've taken. They've got about 5 or 6 cars. They've moved all of those out. No cars here.
Okay.
The drive, everything was full here before.
Do you know the registration numbers of the vehicles?
I do.
What I suggest you do, go back to our company, suggest that they do a trace on them, give them all the details of the vehicles, and hopefully we can recoup your money like that. We'd only be too pleased to do it. You're lucky they left you the bricks. 9 times out of 10, the people that have to be evicted aren't going to have money hidden in a corner or a shoebox somewhere. The reason they're being evicted is because they haven't paid the rent. They're not going to have a pot of gold sitting in the corner.
The eviction is almost complete, but before Mr. Irfan leaves, the landlord's parents decide to go into the flat and record events.
Why is he abusing me? He's abusing me. He said, why is he taking video?
Him, this is one of the landlords. If he wants to film, that's up to him.
He shouldn't abuse.
Can you just go downstairs, do the locks?
Yes, I have done the locks.
You've done the locks, okay. Could you wait downstairs then, please?
Shut up.
Right,
Yeah?
sir, if you just go down, we'll deal with the repossession.
Yes,
okay?
I'm doing it. I'm helping you out, guys. Why is he abusing for?
He's downstairs now. If you just concentrate on packing up your stuff.
With the landlord's parents back outside, Mr. Irfan is ready to leave.
That'll be his Uber cab. That's him. Yeah, that'll be him.
But before he goes, he's keen to share his side of the story.
They got more cases with people here as well. All of their people who are staying in their houses, they're not treating them in a way they need to treat them. They're not trying to refurbish their house and stuff. They just only, that's it.
With Mr. Irfan gone, the landlord finally has his house back.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's yours now. They're not going back in there. Okay. So you can close your door. And then just make sure that you come back and make that secure with a new lock.
I've not been in any communication with the tenant whatsoever. Ever since they stopped paying their rent after the first month, I contacted them by phone. They stopped answering the phone, stopped answering the door. They seemed financially stable. The agent seemed quite content that they're good tenants. But obviously it was all a con, really.
Okay, that's us done then.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your time, sir.
It's been a tricky case for the agents.
I really do feel for the landlord who's lost out. He's got to pay the bills, the utilities, he's got to pay the maintenance, he's got to pay the council tax, all the charges, etc., that the tenant has refused to pay. Must be a nightmare.
A recent survey has revealed that nearly 75% of UK adults lent money to friends and family in 2016. 1 in 20 have lent over £5,000. However, over 40% never see their money again. High Court enforcement agent Aaron Groves and trainee Connor Jackson are in Bayford, Hertfordshire.
Okay, mate, £6,740 and 1 pence to an individual.
Okay.
The claimant is the debtor's ex-partner who lent her money but wasn't paid back. He won a county court judgment against her but still wasn't paid. The claimant has escalated the case to the High Court.
Hello, my name's Aaron Groves. We're here regarding a case we've been taken to court. Yeah.
Are you alright?
Yes. Yeah, are you okay?
Throat infection or something?
Laryngitis.
Oh, right.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
She wrote perfectly well.
Oh, no, that's alright. No, they're lovely dogs. Hello.
Right, we're here because you've been taken to court.
Yeah.
Basically, because the case hasn't been paid at county court level, he's escalated to the High Court. What that basically means for you is today we're here to either ask you to pay this debt, which at the minute it stands at £6,740 and 1 pence, or we're here to look to remove goods from the property.
This is my parents' house, it's not mine.
The debtor says she's staying with her parents temporarily, but as this is her current address, the High Court writ was issued here, and the agents have every right to stay and enforce it.
Ideally, we just need this paying. Is there anybody that can help you at all?
My parents can help me.
Yeah, if they've got a card, they can put it over the phone to us.
They might have 5,000, 6,000 on there.
But I mean, unfortunately, we've got to do a job.
While she calls her parents, Aaron and Connor look for goods of value belonging to her that might help offset the debt if she can't pay. Connor finds a downstairs bedroom.
Aaron, this will be all hers.
But there doesn't appear to be much of real value here.
Let's leave it where it is for now, mate.
Then the debtor wants Connor to speak to her father.
Yes, I will. It's my parents.
Okay.
That's right.
Good afternoon, my name's Connor Jackson, High Court Enforcement Agent that's in your house. I'll explain to you what I explained to your daughter. We don't want to take anything that doesn't belong to her, but if the balance is paid, we won't be taking anything.
I haven't got that amount of money. You're in my house, you're a businessman there, so I'm asking you to leave. Listen, as a retired police officer of 30 years standing, I'm going to phone the police station and I'm going to report there are trespassers on my house and I'm in York. Now you can either come back tomorrow or Friday and see me personally when I'm returned, or you leave the house immediately. Up to you, your call.
I won't be leaving, sir. If you want to phone the police, that's up to you.
Right, okay, then I'll phone the police and say there's trespassers at my house.
Not a problem, and I'll show them the High Court writ that I have to enter the property when they get here.
It's not to my house though, is it?
Yes, it is, sir.
Why have you got it to my house?
Because that's the address that we've traced your daughter to.
I'm telling you now, you're a trespasser. I'm asking.
Phone the police then, sir. That's the end of the matter.
A parent can sometimes make the situation better or worse, of course. In some ways it's better because of the bank of mum and dad. Other times they can aggravate the situation that they feel that we're putting their son or daughter into.
The case has taken an unexpected turn.
Please don't be rude to my parents.
He thinks we're trespassing, we've entered illegally.
You know what? I'm trying to sort it out. I am doing my best. My sister as well.
It will take all of Connor and Aaron's patience to get this tricky case resolved. High Court Enforcement Agent Aaron Groves and trainee Connor Jackson were in Bayford, Hertfordshire, to recover a debt owed to an ex-partner.
At the minute it stands at £6,740.01. All we're here to look to remove goods from the property.
The debtor said she was living at the address temporarily.
Well, this is my parents' house, it's not mine.
But as this is her current address, the writ has been issued, and Aaron and Connor have every right to look for assets belonging to her.
It's a bit worries for now, mate.
But then her father threatened to take action of his own.
Okay, then I'll phone the police and say there's trespassers at my house.
There's no sign of the police, but then the debtor's sister arrives.
Hello.
Hello, this is my parents' property.
We never said it wasn't your parents' house. We never said that at any
No,
point.
but how does it work that if she is not actually living here?
She is.
But she,
Your stuff's here, you're living here.
But that is her
Is she sleeping here?
She's
living here then.
I'm staying here.
You're living here though. You're not sleeping out on the street, you're not sleeping in a car. You are technically living here. Even if it's for a short period of time.
So this is like the first notification?
No, we sent a letter 7 days ago.
To this address?
To this address.
So did you get this letter 7 days ago?
No, I swear I didn't.
It seems that she wants to take control of the situation. She gets on the phone to another sister.
They are doing what their job is, what this county, whatever this...
That's a High Court writ.
What is it?
But that's a High Court writ.
This is a High Court writ, so it's all legal. They're not just like thugs that are just literally breaking in and removing your property. They're doing what they... There's nothing else to do. There is nothing else that we can do.
It does make our life a little bit easier when one member of the family goes, right, this is how it is, we're going to deal with it, and then we'll deal with you at a later date.
Let me pass you on to one of the chat. This is my eldest sister, who's with my parents.
Sorry, I'm really sorry. It's just my poor parents have taken her in.
Okay, just listen to what I'm going to say. The address that we've got for her is here, and as she's sleeping here and all of her stuff is here, it's reasonable to believe that she's living here. We can take payment from more than one place as well.
I've got a couple of grand.
Okay.
You take cards, Mr.
We can, yeah.
Have you got any cards that you can pay anything on? No, she hasn't.
The whole family agree to split the cost of settling the debt between them.
Are you ready for card numbers?
Yeah, just bear with me 2 seconds, please. Okay, how much are you paying on this card?
3,000.
3,000.
Another £2,000 is paid on the mother's card.
Okay, how much are you paying on this card? The remainder, yeah?
And the remainder of the debt is paid by the other sister.
And that's it all sorted.
Right, that's it, jobs are good. Right, we shall leave without taking anything.
Lovely.
Okay. Debt doesn't affect one person. You know, if you're in debt, it affects everybody around you in different ways. And, you know, especially if you're living with people and we turn up at your door, it is going to directly affect them. Every address that we attended is different. Everyone's got their own life experiences. They're going through their own problems at different points in their lives. So you never know what you're going to get when you knock on the door. You don't know what story you're going to hear.
Aaron and Connor's patience has paid off.
Just after 2 hours and we've walked out with it paid in full. Hopefully that's another happy client.
An unhappy family though, all because she tried to bury her head in the sand and claiming she didn't know anything about it.
And Can't Pay Will Take It Away continues new next Wednesday at 9. Two families from Wolverhampton living at either end of the wealth divide swap lives in the current series of Rich House Poor House tomorrow at 9. But are there still questions to be answered in the case of Shannon Matthews? We speak to those who helped in the search for the missing schoolgirl next.